Okay, so we have Felice McNamara on the line. She went to the STS in Texas, and she's going to share with you guys a little bit about that experience.
Hello, guys. Well, this is kind of a strange start, but I'll do my best. I'm in here, Dallas, Texas, right now, in a hotel room, kind of comfy. Just wanted to give you guys a quick ideas about being in a different location, not knowing people around you, but at the same time feeling very welcome in a great crowd. This is something that I have been approaching overall my life. I'm from Turkey. I've been in places that I didn't understand well or I didn't know much people, so I kind of changed my attitude rather than being sad and being kind of miserable by myself. I just kind of stepped up and kind of enjoy my time. So that kind of helps me out with that attitude with Herbalife. Wherever I go, number one thing that I do look for Herbalife events. Let's say if I'm visiting my friend, of course I love my friend and I want to visit her, but I want to make priority to find an event that I can connect with people. So far, I've been in Herbalife over 17 months, if I'm not mistaken. So I have been in many meetings, starting with the Las Vegas, the biggest event, and then I stopped by and got to meet with Kelsey and her team in Boston. Then I went to Fargo, North Dakota. I went to Bismarck, North Dakota. Then I visited my family in Turkey. I found the Herbalife group as well in Turkey. Then I went to Chicago event. Then I'm here in Texas. So the biggest intake with this, that you got to meet a bunch of people with the same attitude, great people, great motivation. Everybody would love to actually meet with you at the same time that you want to meet with them. With just walking out of that room after 6 to 7 hours later, I had literally 25 people with me, talking with me, sharing with me that we are friends on Instagram, we are on friend on the Facebook, and they're already making comments, a lot of things. So that kind of creates another marketing for you too. So I have never felt left out or alone with Herbalife. So you guys are in a good place. I definitely would suggest you guys to, if you guys are in a money, like a crunch position, like, hey, I can't make an event, I have to say I have this, make this priority for me. If I am selling any Herbalife product, I pay myself. I pay myself separately to make this event so I can actually have extra cash with me. So that is never a problem that I don't have enough money for my event. So I don't know, is there anything else I need to highlight, Kelsey?
That was so awesome and so true, I think. Yeah, and I think you also went to the Minnesota event, right?
That is correct. Actually, there was 2 events that I did in Minnesota, yes. And I'm going to go LDW for that too.
Oh, that's going to be so crazy. That's so awesome. So what were your top, let's do top 3 takeaways from the event, or top 2. What stuck out to you most from the training at the Texas event?
Probably I have kind of underestimated 3-day trial packs. So that was kind of the biggest highlight of the night, of the day. I am thinking that, hey, it's handy. I have the box. I put it in my car, or if I have it, it's you in my purse, and if it is with me in the building. So I just kind of spread them around, so I carry it with me everywhere. So I have it handy. But I never really implemented the plan or came up with the plan. It was there, but it was not reachable. So that was one of the number one thing that I have on my list of, like, how to utilize and how to show the people how to use the product as well. So that was number one. Another thing that they highlighted, we always say that use the product, get the result, and share. So this is something that we say, but we don't really do well. That was one thing that they said, have you ever really tried 3-day trial pack, where how your consumers should use? Have you ever experienced this? So that was number 2 that I really want to get on that package. Day 1, day 2, day 3. So when you're experiencing, when you're doing actually what you're teaching them to do, you have a better experience and you have a better knowledge what you can actually tell them and what they're expecting, so you can explain them better. So that was my number 2. And another thing is just like they highlight a couple of things. Okay, number 1 and 2 and 3, we are going to do it. We're going to teach 10 a member what we are doing it. And then number 3 is to teach them to teach as well. So that was my number 3 actually. I am not a really good teacher apparently. I do a lot of things, number 1, that I'm doing it. But I'm not really doing the number 2 that teach them my 10 member. So that's my kind of fault. So that was my number 3, that I'm going to focus on my number 2 and 3 to teach 10 members and then teach them to teach their members as well.
Yeah, so it's actually really cool listening to the things that you just took away, because we also in Boston had a very similar training. And so it's cool that they both focus on the same things. So the 3-day trial pack was huge for us. And I took away the exact same thing. I don't think I'm utilizing it the way that I should be utilizing it. So that's like on the top of my priority list, is to really, wrap my brain around how to use it correctly. And then so that way I can do exactly what you were just talking about, right? And teach my 10 members how to do the exact same thing so that they can teach their 10 members. So I think that was a really good 3 takeaways. I mean, absolutely incredible.
Definitely. It's actually a good question you're asking me, like, what is your 3 things? That was another highlight that they kind of focused on. Okay, I see you guys taking notes. I see you guys taking pictures of the slides. I see you guys are just listening and looking at us. But they kind of highlighted and underlined, are you going to make it happen? And they said, okay, your pages and pages, you're taking notes. I need you to highlight 3 things that you are going to go and do it. So what are those 3 things that you are going to apply to your action? So that's, I'm glad that you actually asked me exactly what they're saying. We don't need to actually redo anything. Everything is like they say, like, copycat. Don't get creative. Don't do whatever. But do the copycat, the right copycat. Don't just copycat someone is doing wrong. Just pick up whoever's actually had the succeeding, history behind, and they have a good approach, and they have a great support. It's nothing wrong with it because it's working for them. It will work for you too. So do not change the rules. Do not just to get creative and mix it up everything. Actually, we have 1, 2, 3 steps. If you could just like apply that, I am apparently on the number 1. So far, so good. I'm doing it. I got the crowd. But number 2 and number 3, actually, this is my, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 events so far. After I learned that you told me many times, do not miss the event, But I am just getting it. I'm just understanding actually what they're telling me. So what I have done different this time, I did not take any notes because my notes are almost like similar to the other ones. I did take a picture, a couple of the motivational good, stuff that they were saying, but I literally sit down and look into their eyes and listen to them. I try to understand exactly what they are trying to tell me. So this is kind of comes from another second language. This is my second language. When I write, I miss some of the stuff. When I listen, if I don't write, I forget things. So I was just kind of combining things, and then I was missing a good portion of it. So I literally just sat down and just like be there at the moment and listen to them. And it's more better, clear picture after so long, but hey, it's never late.
You're right. It's never too late. And it's so funny that you say that because, when my first event, I remember sitting down and like frantically writing every single thing that was coming out of people's mouths. And I felt the exact same way, that I was missing so much of, the stories behind it. So I would listen. Yeah. Now I've come up with this technique that works for me. And everyone is different. Some people like to take a lot of notes and some people don't. But for me, what I do is I listen to their stories and I listen to the teaching, and I write down like one key phrase that they said that will help me remember what they were talking about. So like they'll tell a whole story, and the one thing that like clicks in my mind, I'm like, ooh, that right there, I'll write that down. And that way I'm not like frantically writing everything, but I know, like I have, you know, a mental list of what was going on. So everyone's different. And that's a really good point to bring up, especially going into your first event and kind of knowing that and figuring out your own style.
Yep, definitely. I don't know about you, but I take notes, you know, pages and pages. I go back and try to read. I'm like, what is this? Like, I don't even understand my own notes. I'm like, it's a half written. Nothing is making any sense. So not only I lost the information, also I missed the whole event, you know. So
well, I'm so glad that you finally found your style of learning, and it seems like this event was absolutely crazy. I mean, the photos that you posted, getting to sit with some of the press team, like so incredible. That is absolutely amazing.
Oh my goodness, it was great. I was just literally, guys, this is crazy. So I got to meet with this, you know, I think we've seen him on Las Vegas on the first event. I was on the like 13 days, you remember? Yep. So, and seeing him again, you know, he looks like a, goodness gracious, it's just like so amazing on the stage with this long hair and just like, you know, talking about his amazing stories. And so it's like, he's like an idol. And I'm like, oh, he's sitting right next table. Unbelievable. It was so exciting. It was so crazy to have a bunch of people, different culture. Texas is a different culture here. So I am so amused and happy to get to meet with these people. I was in my friend's house all the way down south. The event is all the way up north. I'm not kidding, an hour and a half drive. It is crazy. Drivers up here. So I made it happen. I got to meet with these people, and you will never regret anyone going in that meeting. It's not a meeting, guys. It's a party. It is a social event. It is crazy knowledge. It's a place that you want to meet a lot of great attitude people. So why wouldn't you go?
Exactly. All right. Well, we're going to end this call now. So we can keep it short and sweet, but thank you so much, Filiz, for sharing, you know, your takeaways and for sharing your advice on the events. I hope you guys found this helpful. And like I said, we can't really bring back everything from these events. We can't bring back the, you know, the emotion and every single golden nugget that we got from the event. So you guys really should, you know, do what Filiz is doing and get to every event. I mean, they are so valuable to your business, so valuable. So I hope you guys enjoyed the call and can't wait to see you guys at the next event.
Sounds really good. Thank you so much for the opportunity, Kelsey.
Bye.
Bye.